The insurance industry in Uganda is over 74 years today since the establishment of the first insurance company in the land, the East Africa General Insurance Company, in 1948. The industry has witnessed great developments and transitions over the years. The 1960s through the 70s, the industry witnessed great uptake and appreciation from the public, especially the elite and the merchandising class, largely dominated by Asians. This explains why at independence, despite having smaller population of under 8 million people, Uganda had 95 insurance agencies and branch offices of foreign insurance companies, mainly from United Kingdom, India and the United States of America. The 1970s to the 80s were dark years of the insurance industry. Besides the political turmoil of the time, the expulsion of Asians in the 1970s, which affected the business and elite classes that were key to the industry's growth and its sustenance, and the 1987 currency reform and discounting heavily hit especially the holders of life insurance policies. Many lost hope in the promise that insurance gives its policy holders. Through innovation and consistent product development, the industry has today made great strides, reminiscing and in a number of areas surpassing the industry's golden era of the 1960s. Midwifed by the Insurance Regulatory Authority, which was established in 1996 to ensure effective administration, supervision and regulation, the insurance industry has reinstated the prowess of that promise. The promise that insurance pays and is indeed a good bulwark against risk.
The establishment of a regulatory body from the desk office in the Ministry of Finance through establishing an independent regulatory body, which was the Insurance Commission at the time. That kind of really shaped the direction of the industry. In addition to that, I think in 2011, there was a change, a paradigm shift from the Insurance Commission to Insurance Regulatory Authority. So there was a rebirth, and it brought in with it a change in the Insurance Act as well. So you had a change from Insurance Commission to Insurance Regulatory Authority, and then thereafter, the Insurance Act, it was the Insurance Act of 2011 at the time, it was also overhauled. It was overhauled so as to meet the international standards, the international core principles. In addition to that, in 2020, various regulations were put in place to operationalize the Insurance Act. So all these, because at the end of the day, once you have a well-supervised and well-regulated industry, it means that people are going to operate in an environment which is stable, where there is predictability, where people know that in the event that something happens to this insurer, you have a fallback position, where you know that if there is a claim, you know where to go. So all this really has enhanced the growth of the industry.
The reason why the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda was created was for strict monitoring, that the people who make those promises fulfill them. And government was very good to amend or overhaul the Insurance Act. The Insurance Act of 2017 safeguards the interests of the policyholders to a great extent. That act also safeguards that the insurance companies should not be allowed to collapse. That is the very reason why we are here as the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda. We also say that in case you buy an insurance policy and for whatever reason you are not satisfied the way you were handled, we created a complaints bureau at the Insurance Regulatory Authority come and please complain. Let us know what is happening.
Indeed, that confidence is today the reason why the insurance sector has made great growth strides and is currently a trillion shillings industry and steadily growing. Gross written premiums, which is the total amount collected by the industry through the sale of insurance policies, was 240 billion shillings in 2010. In 2015, it had moved to 612.1 billion shillings and 974.4 billion shillings in 2019. In the same breath, the industry paid claims worth 184 billion shillings in 2014. This moved to 291 billion shillings in 2017. Again, with a better regulatory environment and innovations such as bank assurance, there has been growth in the uptake of insurance services and with it, growth in the settled claims. For instance, in 2022, the industry paid out claims worth 476 billion shillings. All these have further served to strengthen public confidence in the industry.
In 2020 first season, I planted like 10 acres of jenat, simsim, rice, and then beans. I paid 410 for those crops. After their survey, they realized that I've made a loss of 6,220,000, which they pay me. In 2021, I decided to plant now 20 acres because my level was going. I cannot be repeating 10 acres. I planted 20 acres of those crops, of which I paid 820 as sum insured. In 2021, I realized a loss of 24,200,000. Yeah, that's what they paid me.
Uganda being an agro-based economy with the bulk of the population depending on agriculture for survival, it was crucial that the industry spreads its tendrils into this space, and this firm is one of the beneficiaries. This was done through an innovative vehicle, the Agricultural Consortium, bringing together government and insurance players, and has been rolled out across the country.
Called Otieno Orlando Joffrey, a farmer. I belong to a group called the Riemochande in the Magola sub-county, Toro district. The type of agricultural insurance we have is the weather index and the drought index insurance. It covers excessive rainfall and the drought. Like last season, I incurred loss in rice. There was a lot of drought, and I incurred a total loss. So I was supported because I was compensated, and I didn't feel it. I paid 55,000 shillings, and in the end, I was compensated 1 million shillings.
A number of other insurance policies today exist, and these include fire, burglary, motor vehicle insurance, health, and life assurance. All these policies serve varying purposes. While some are purely risk covers, others go beyond that and touch the savings space.
For life insurance, way back when I was saving, when I had that policy, I was paying 100,000 per month. 100,000 per month. Per child. I was paying for 2 children, the young ones. I was paying 100,000 per month. And I had signed up for 12 years for each one of them. And then that started way back in 2010. And when it matured, I was paid the money. I am still alive. Some people insure because they may get, death is actually normal. Anyone can die. So if you die before the 12 years, then you are sure that your child will continue with education. I was lucky that the 12 years passed and I just had to get that money as a lump sum.
These policies can be purchased directly from an insurance company or through intermediaries. Better still today, one can also buy insurance through digital channels as more players embrace more innovative service deliverers platforms to ease access of the service. But there is also the option of buying a policy through your bank under the bank assurance arrangement. Of paramount importance, however, is the fact that whenever money is spent, it should ideally be in exchange for value, which begs the question: what value does one get in buying an insurance policy?
When I was in school, I used to hear people having medical insurance. I didn't really understand what it meant. But in 2010, I opted to join medical insurance, and I can tell you I've never looked back. Me and my family have enjoyed medical insurance for that long period. My child you see over here was paid for by medical insurance. I'm an ordinary Ugandan, and I went to Kampala Hospital, had the best services, and everything was paid for. I left the hospital a happy mother with my normal child and went back home.
Uganda is ranked highly in entrepreneurship, but also in the mortality or death rate for businesses. While several factors are blamed for this, one cannot underrate the poor risk management by some businesses. Those with foresight have, however, embraced mitigating covers like insurance.
In 2018, my restaurant caught fire. By the time I reached the premises, everything had been reduced to ashes. But the good thing is that I had insured my business, I had insured my restaurant, and I straight away got in touch with my insurer, who responded by sending their team to come and do a verification. They came, looked around, they did their investigation, and after about a week, the report was out, and I was recommended for compensation. The insurer compensated some very good amount of money, which I may not disclose, but which enabled me to really put up something new. I opened up another restaurant, of course in a different area, but within Seguku, and that was around at the beginning of 2019. Now, my restaurant has grown in that I've been able to even open up another business. I operate a bar around Zana, along Entebbe Road, and this bar came as a result of the growth of my business, my restaurant business. I want to call upon my fellow business people, my fellow Ugandans, to embrace insurance. Sometimes when you talk to somebody about insurance, say, you are just wasting money. Why should I put money? Why should I pay money that I know that will never, I will never benefit? But the fact is, you will never know that it will benefit, not until you get a problem.
Some vagaries that businesses are exposed to are man-made and premeditated, making it hard for businesses to mitigate against them on their own.
Way back, we were closed down due to COVID-19. We couldn't work anymore. Artists didn't have money since the economy was down. And since our studio was locked for quite a long time, certain individuals came and broke in forcefully, They put the door out, Some of our equipment was destroyed, some was taken. And, it was kind of a problem because we didn't know where to begin from. The economy had shut down. We didn't have capital to buy these things. We went to our insurer, and our insurer helped us refund everything we had lost. When the economy had to resume, we also resumed like other businesses. We are working. You may take up the same insurance policy, go to any insurance company out there. They will take you into their insurance, different policies, and subscribe to this burglary insurance policy. For us, we are still running our business uninterrupted because we got a very good compensation.
There seems to be consensus that moving from one place to another, especially on the road, comes with its fair share of risk, looking at the number of accidents that happen every day. In Uganda, besides the mandatory third-party policy, there are more options such as the Motor Comprehensive Policy, which offers more benefits.
My name is Teddy Sanyu. I live in Namgongo. One afternoon, it was a Saturday afternoon, I was coming from the farm actually, as in my RAV4, that was my first car. And there's a steep slope. And you know when you're driving at the slope, you're at a high speed. So a big goat with huge horns from nowhere happened to cross the road. I thought quickly, I'm like, I'm not going to stop because instant stopping meant hurting the people in the car. So what I did, I just hit it and had to stop ahead. Yeah. I decided to come down and call my insurer, and they took me through the claims process, sent me a form, of course not at that time, but later on, sent me a form to fill, a claim form, explained what exactly happened, and within at least 1 week, my car was taken to the garage, of course the garage of my own choice, and it was worked on and back on the road.
In today's dynamic and fairly challenging social and business environment, and indeed one where social strings seem to be breaking and can rarely be counted on for support in times of need, having an insurance policy is considered prudent thinking bordering on necessity.
The insurance industry really has supported and do continue to support the private sector. And the support manifests itself in many ways. One, and fundamentally so, is that insurance is there to protect people, their business, and in case of any loss, they are supposed to be reinstated to the positions they enjoyed prior to the loss or any destruction. Insurance has over the years provided that protection. Close to 600 billions, which is about 50% of the underwritten premiums, has been paid back to those people who have suffered losses. That means those businesses, if they didn't have insurance, they would never come back to life. I want also to tell the pessimist that insurance is inevitable for all of us, because just examine the economies which have managed to grow. Insurance is put as a first priority. For us who are growing, we decided to make it as a last priority or as a luxury. I want to confirm once again, insurance is not luxury, but a must-have.
It is therefore not surprising that today over 2.4 million people in corporate organizations have insurance covers. To the regulator, that and fact that the industry has seen a steady growth trajectory over the past 10 years, having expanded by over 15% in 2022, attests to the strong public belief in insurance. These are also fruits of sound supervision, regulation, and administration in affirmation of the Insurance Regulatory Authority's commitment to protect the interest of the insured.